So your starting item build.
Better get ready.
Your starting item build is going to be yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But what you do want to do is as Morphling, you wanna why is it? You wanna quickly get agility morph. You wanna quickly get um, level up your morph ability, and you wanna go down to about 500 HP. So that you have a high amount of right click damage. You don't really. So, are you going mid or are you going carry? You're going to go carry lane. So, what are you going to have in your enemy team? So, Pudge's PA is going to be carry. Probably Ember is going to be mid, and I think it's going to be a dual lane bot with Pudge and Clinks probably. So you do have to deal with a lot of harass coming over from Clinks. So having a low HP is probably not a good idea. Either way, Morph is still the better ability to level up level 1. You're not going to get much out of Waveform at level 1.
And away we go.
Okay, couple of things. Yeah, I would definitely have morphed in base down to about 500 HP. That's not too bad. Even if you're going to deal with right click from Clinks, you can always, when you come back, come to lane. And if you are having a hard time, if you don't have good supports, because you're going to have either Axe as support or Doom as support. I don't know how good you don't know how good your supports are going to be. You don't know how good they're going to be at zoning out and whatnot. So you don't know how much you're going to get out of lane. But still, when you come to lane and you find out, you can always morph back some health. So I think definitely you should have started off with 500 HP, so you have a high amount of right click damage, so you can get easy last hits, quick last hits. Also, when you come, as soon as you get vision on enemy heroes, especially people who are going to be up against you in lane, you should click on them and see what their items are. You need to do that. You need to get as much information so you can play around that. For example, if your offlaner has a high amount of regen, let's check Pudge. He has no regen. He has absolutely no regen on him. You guys should just run at him, right click him, make him at half HP. He's all of a sudden he's going to have to start playing really, really defensively. He's not going to be able to do much in his lane. So he probably might have to go back to base. If not, he's gonna end up giving you a free kill. So you definitely need to check your opponent's inventory as often as you possibly can. Right here, you should have clicked. You right click on Bone, and then you left click on him to see what he has in his inventory. He's going for a shouldering. He has minor regen, but he really doesn't have much. So again, right click him, harass him. Get information. Information is key.
That's a first blood.
Okay. You should go down here. You should block these creeps. You should keep them. You always want to keep the lane equilibrium roughly around this line, within your close proximity of your tower, so that if the enemy offlaners do want to kill you, they have to dive under your tower, which is already a it's not ideal for them. Okay. Small thing what you can do, if you have a matchup where your enemy does more damage, to get right clicks easier. So first off, if you'd had 500 HP here, you would have had roughly about 60 or more damage. So you would have had, let's see Clinks' damage. Clinks has 46 plus 20 plus 30, so he has 76 damage to start off with, right? You have 50 damage, so he has almost 26 damage more than you, so he's going to get better right click. So you definitely should have morphed a lot more agility, so you have you have more right click. Now you're gonna have to, depend on a much higher right clicking skill compared to clinks, and that's not, it's not ideal. It's not a situation you want to be in. So you should definitely have more. Should definitely have more damage. Second thing is, if you do end up in a situation where your enemy has a higher damage than you, what you can always do is, when the creep is about this much HP, right click the clinks. What's going to happen is these creeps are going to move towards you. So when they start moving towards you, they're automatically further from clinks than they are from you. Right? They're closer to you, they're further from clinks. Therefore, when it comes to the point where you have to kill the creep or get the last hit, they're much closer to you. So when Clinks throws his arrow, it's going to take a lot longer for his arrow to come to get the right click, to get the last hit, than it is for you. It'll be much closer to you, so you will most likely get last hit. Other thing is, when it's about half HP, you can do the same thing. You can click Clinks, you aggro the creep, and you move back. You move back about here, and then what's going to happen is, all three of these melee creeps are going to end up being here, and your melee creeps are going to be here. So what's going to happen then is Clinks is actually going to focus on his last hits, and you're actually going to get free, uncontested melee creeps at least. You're probably going to lose your range creep. You're probably not going to get the range creep. You're probably going to get it denied by Clinks. Maybe not, but you're definitely going to get these three easily. Second thing is, I don't know at what point, but you did see. First off, Pudge is missing. Pudge is missing, and Axe is on this right side. So Pudge is definitely not on the right side. Could be on the left side. You should definitely not be standing here. Not because Pudge can kill you, but because he will hook you. He can hook you, and he can do damage to you. He's level 1. He's not going to be able to slow you with his rot or anything. He's not going to be able to kill you. But there is a huge amount of harass that he can do to you. You don't really want to deal with that. So you want to be standing on this side of the creeps, right next to this guy, so that if he does have to hook you, he can't hook you from here. He almost has to come over on this side, like on your tower side, to hook you, and that makes no sense for him to do so. So you want to be standing on this side. So a little bit of extra map awareness. You shouldn't have missed that. Okay, here, this is when you see Pudge coming in. So yeah, now you need to stay on this. Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Not sure why you're going here. You should just keep going there.
The Dire might want to mine that tower.
Now Clinks is all by himself. You do have a high amount of HP, or you did have a high amount of HP, and you just took a lot of. Okay, what I was about to say at this point is that all your creeps are more than half HP. You're not going to go for any right clicks. What you should do is you should go over here and right click Clinks a little bit, once or twice, so that what he has to do is he has to back off. Instead, he's doing that thing to you. You see his creeps, they're all full HP. Now what he's going to do is he's going to stand there and right click you. This is what you should have been doing when your creeps were half HP. You see, he doesn't miss any last hits at all so far. And he manages to bring your okay, might actually kill you. He forces you to morph. Yeah, they kill you. So what you should have done, he did. And they managed to kill you because you went greedy for you have no support right now. Absolutely no support. You're off lane. You're solo off lane right now against dual lane. Right? So one more time. Let's do it one more time. Alright, you should not have gone here. You should just go okay. One more time. Free cam.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Right. You should have gone here to begin with. You should have stood here. As soon as your creeps come, all the enemy creeps are full HP. You stand here, you right click things once, twice, 3 times, so much so that he has to back off. Yeah, he either keeps going for last hits and keeps getting your harass, or he has to back off and miss his last hits. What ends up happening is just hold on one second. Yeah, what ends up happening is, sorry about that. What ends
Dire's
up
top
happening is
tower's
that
getting
he
beat
actually
down.
does the exact same thing to you, so that he forces you to either go for last hits and take his harass, or what you should have done, back off and leave these last hits because you're alone in your lane. You have no support. This guy deals a shit ton more damage than you do. You can't trade effectively with him. You should have just backed off. You forget about your last hits. Just back off. You can't take that harass, but you still go for his harass, and you still go for last hits. You
Dire's
take what,
top
two
tower
creeps? For
getting
two creeps, you
rebuilt.
give your life. That's definitely not worth it. Um, Also, waveforming into him was a bad
The
idea. You
Dire
should have
might want to
waveformed
mine
back
the top
away. You can't
tower.
kill him. Not at level 2.
Evaporation.
Maybe at level 5, but not at level 2. Especially against a guy who has invis. You can't kill him at all.
Dire's top
So,
tower's getting beat down.
poor judgment from your part in playing way too aggressively. You're in a solo lane. You can't play aggressive here. Also, your health. You've got 900 health. What the issue with 900 health is? Yeah, it's gonna allow you to stay alive in lane a lot longer, but it's gonna give you a hard time outlasting Clinks, and also outright picking him. Because as we said earlier, that he deals 80 damage almost, and you deal only 50 damage. So when it comes to right clicking each other as well, he's gonna out harass you. On top of that, he's probably got Soul Ring now, and he's got Invis, so he can always at the last moment run away, and he's got Pudge there with you as well. So uh, you need to recognize that you don't have kill potential on him, but he does. So you need to play
So
very,
much
very
for the
safe.
Radiant's courier. Poor little fella.
Um, the draft is a bit weird in the sense that you don't have any support. Um, and you are the carry. You are the only carry, and nobody supports you. So this is a very typical, 2K game where nobody understands that the priority should be for the carry. It's not that you should be asking them to help you. It's that they should know that their only chance of winning this game is through you. They have to help you. What should have happened is if the Axe doesn't want to help you, then the Doom should have been there supporting you, playing position 5 Doom, which isn't ideal, but it's better than position 5. Um, what do you call it? Doom for position 5 Axe. Position that 5 Axe doesn't do anything. Uh, so Doom should have
No
been
breaking
helping you.
through the Dire structures for now.
To be honest, it should have been a different draft. They should have either switched out Doom
Dire's
or
top
Axe with
tower
a, typical
rebuilt.
regular support hero. Why are you going
How
this way?
about that?
Also, you're the carry. You need to stick to your lane. You need to farm. If you're having a really really hard time, you're not having that hard a time right now. By the way, this is not an impossible lane right now. The Clinks is not harassing you that much. Look, he's running away to get the rune or something. This is a free. Like you should. Okay, let's go back a little bit. And let's see where Clinks is. The Clinks and Pudge are here. They're not harassing you. Like one hit from the Clinks, you've got 1,000 HP. You haven't morphed anything to agility. You've got so much HP. Um, you're not taking any damage, any like significant damage right now. Compare Clinks. He's got 600 HP. You've got 1,000 HP. Current HP, you've got almost 1,000 as well. And he's got 300 HP. You harass. Go ahead and harass him. Like, yeah, he has to run away from his lane. Pudge is gone. Now this is a free lane now for you. So you should just focus on farming. Now if this was a hard lane, if Pudge and Clinks were just sitting here doing nothing except harassing you, then what you could have done is you could have just gone here and started farming jungle camps. You can farm the small camp easily. You can pull the small camp, take the small camp, maybe pull the large camp over if Pudge doesn't contest. If he does, it's fine. At least you get the 3 small creeps instead of not getting anything out of the lane.
The Dire
Farm
will be
is very
fortifying
important.
their
Experience,
structures.
not so much as for a carry. For a carry, farm is more important than experience. For everyone
The
else,
Dire might
experience
want
is
to
more
mine their
important.
top tower.
Now you see Pudge is here. You don't go there. You don't want to don't worry about what is happening other in the rest of the game, in the rest of the lanes. You just farm your lane. Pudge is there, rejoice. Nobody's in, like, Pudge is not there harassing you. You farm these creeps. You missed the last hit right there. That was your 50 gold. You missed another one. That's 100 gold now that you've missed. So it's very, each last hit is very precious to you as a carry. So you really need to be focusing on farming a lot more. Yeah, I understand the draft is like this, and that's why Morphling is not very good carry. Good carries are in this lower bracket where you're not going to be relying on support. Is a carry who can solo lane against two people or even three people. It's really okay. This is really bad. You need to focus more on your last hitting. And again, if you'd had more agility, you would have had more damage, and you would have been getting these last hits a lot easier. Why did you miss that last? That's not a last hit to be missed. Okay, so one thing that you might be struggling with at last hitting is knowing when to last hit. Now, what you want to do is you want to keep an eye out on the projectiles from this range creep, because that's what the range creep deals the most amount of damage. Of course, the catapult as well, and that's always difficult. It's always difficult when you have to deal with the catapult as well. But what you're going to do is keep an eye out on when the range creep hits and who the range creep is hitting, because whoever the range creep is hitting, that creep is going to die the fastest. Now, if you look at this creep. This creep is who the range creep is hitting. So what you want to do is you want to wait for his projectile to hit, and then you right click, right? So you actually ended up right clicking slightly too early. Just keep an eye out on the range creep. See, he's gonna hit. Yeah, you need to keep an eye on the range creep. That's 3 creeps you missed from those 4 creeps. That's almost 120 gold that you missed out on just within this wave alone. So that's really huge. I would say that's the biggest issue that you're having so far is right clicking. Obviously, having low damage doesn't help, but that was a free lane. Damage has nothing to do with it. You should go in custom lobby and practice last hitting for hours and hours and hours. Because if you play carry and you can't last hit, then you really need to not play carry or practice last hitting a lot more, because this is not helping. Especially because Klinks has left the lane. It's not even a hard lane anymore. It's just a Pudge. You should not be letting Pudge get rot on you. You're a ranged hero. He's a melee hero. Unless he hooks you, there's no way he should miss the last hit again. You should not let him harass you. You should right click him and not let him come close. If he does come close, you wait for him out. All right, is it working now? All right, perfect. Yeah, that's what I was worried. It will be very lacky in your location. Okay, just carry on, keep farming. That's great. See that you should not be missing those last hits. You missed another last hit. You really need to focus a whole lot more on last hitting. I would say right now your biggest issue, and if you're losing games, then you can quite easily attribute it to last hitting. Pudge denied that. You should not have let Pudge deny that. That should have been an easy last hit for you. Who is messaging me? Okay. Nice dodge. Second thing is obviously your courier has not been upgraded, but this ring of protection adds about 6 more damage to your. Okay, let's see that again. This ring of protection adds about 6 more damage to your right clicks. Why is it still in base? You've had it for over 3 or 4 minutes now. You should call the courier over. Don't. There's no point keeping this ring of protection in base. Like, absolutely no point. Um, yeah, definitely. If you buy something, get it over to you. Yeah. It's very, very bad. This you should. So, Morphling's waveform has about, I think it's a 600 or 700 range, which is a huge. Here we go. You can see. See the range. That's a huge range. That's a huge, huge range. You could potentially right now, when you waveform, you could have waveformed all the way out till here, and then there's no way Pudge comes and rots you, and there's no way you die here. No way you die here if you'd all gone all the way to your maximum waveform. Um, First death happened because you were too greedy for last hits. You didn't recognize that Clinks could kill you. Actually, Clinks shouldn't have been able to kill you then, because you should not have let him right-click you so many times for free. And the second one is because you didn't waveform fully. Not sure why you did that, but maybe you thought you could kill Pudge, but... Actually, let me see. Did you actually go for Pudge or something? Is that why you went for a short? Because look at him, he's got full HP. No, you actually were running away. It was a... I think you panicked. With Morph, there's no need to panic, because if it's a moment that you think you're gonna panic, just click D or whatever this strength gain you've got set on. You just click that, and that's it. You're not gonna die. You're just not gonna die. So even here, even if you did do a short range and it was a mistake or something, just click this, and that's it. You're gonna have so much HP they're not gonna be able to kill you. You're just gonna walk it off. See, this is what I was talking about. Like, you were able to bring him down to like 50 HP, but he just goes invis. What are you gonna do? You can't do anything. You have no kill potential on that guy. See that? Again, not recognizing that the tower is going to bring the creep to that much HP is... wait a second, how much... I just want to see how long you've been playing. So you've got 4,000 hours. You should know. You should know these things. Like last hitting is your last hitting is very weak. It's way weaker than other 2K people that I have coached before. So you definitely need to work on your last hitting. And if I was to suggest to you, there is this one, last hit challenge. This game will help you so much. Whichever hero you play a lot, just go in last hit challenge, and you pick a hero, and you bring your creep score up as much as possible. Just practice last hitting. That's what's gonna push you to your next skill bracket.
Fresh meat. How about that? Something bad.
See that again? That creep. You've missed almost. It's 8 minutes in. Let's see at 10 minutes. Let's check at 10 minutes. And you've not had a very, very hard lane. Yeah, you died twice. Both times you shouldn't have died. I'll give you one time. One death is fine, but twice, no way. This was not that hard a lane that you would have died twice.
Radiant's mid tower could use
What you did here, I actually didn't realize that you would know that, so I didn't even bother telling you. But what you did here, you should be doing this all game from minute 2. Literally, from the second you're like level 2 or level 3, you should be doing this. Because what you're able to do is deny an entire creep wave from the enemy offlaner. Yeah, see, that's max range waveform. That's perfect. That's what you should be doing. Actually, you should have waveformed towards the creep so you can actually take last hits. But that's fine. Now you're hiding because you don't know where Clinks is, so that's smart. But you're not eating a tree. So you want to eat a tree as soon as possible. You want to always try to be at max health. And you've got almost 200 and 30 again short. Again short. Okay, first mistake. Okay, let's go back. You don't know where Clinks is. You should keep an eye out on the minimap. You see Pudge, you run back the other way. Not try to juke him in the trees, run back the other way. Try to get as much distance between him and you so that you see the hook coming, and then you can dodge the hook either just by walking or by waveform. Right. Secondly, when he does manage to hook you, you have to keep your cool. You cannot afford to panic, especially playing carry. If you have a tendency to panic, you
Radiant's
cannot play
gone and
carry.
fortified
Right
their
here,
structures.
you've got 300 HP, 200 HP missing. You need to eat a tree. You've got 200 HP right here in your inventory. You're not using that up. Why? That makes no sense. You need to eat that tree. You need to try to keep your HP at full. This doesn't do anything in your inventory. So at any point during this time, you should have eaten this tree. Second thing is, you see Pudge, you should have ran away. You didn't run away, that's fine. You did get hooked, so now you need to keep it cool and you need to reform this towards this area. Not away from here, because things could have been standing here. You could have actually killed you. Again, at this point, you should have eaten a tree as well. You didn't do that. You went back to lane to last hit. Short range. Again, short range. It should have been a maximum range again. You actually see things. Okay, I made a mistake. Here, see Pudge backs off. You try to make sure you're as far from Pudge so he doesn't hook you, and you're putting a. Yeah, that's fine. But again, max range should have been max range. If that would have been max range, most likely you survive this. Now it's 10 minutes in. At 10 minutes, there are 72 creeps exactly. 72 creeps that have come into your lane. You only got, I think, 35.
My soul.
Out of 72 creeps, you've got 35 creeps. You've got exactly half the CS that you should have had. That's almost 3,000 gold that you missed out on. 3,000 gold is a huge amount, you know. Actually, is it 3,000 gold? Let me see exactly how much it is. It's roughly 40. Actually, it's roughly 40 gold per CS. 35. Okay, 1,400. Sorry, 3,000 is the full amount roughly. So you missed out on almost 1,400, 1,500 gold, because of poor last hitting.
Looks like
For 10 minutes in, this is not the items you should have had. Definitely not. Max range again. You need to waveform at max range.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Okay. You definitely could have had a Yasha right now, if you'd had better last hitting, and if you'd been taking the jungle farm between these creeps as well. The way you pulled through, that was perfect. You pulled through, like you did earlier. You pull through, you clear out this creep wave with your waveform really quickly within 5 seconds, and then you go to this creep camp, the jungle camp, and you farm that. Not 1,000 gold. It's definitely more than 1,000 gold. It's about 1,500 gold. Also, that's not counting in the fact that you can always take these large camps. You can, the way you pulled through, the way you denied the creep wave, one creep wave that you've done, you need to do that every single creep wave, every minute. Once every minute, you take one creep camp every minute. That's almost 150 gold extra every minute. Not to mention the experience. Now you're taking. Okay. I actually didn't focus on this. Should have focused on this a bit more. When you do come back from your third death, you decided. When did you come in? Right, when you died for the second time, third time. Wait, you died mid though. Let's go back. Right, you died here, and then you went mid, and you take a long time to TP as well, and then you come in. So why? There was no reason to leave your lane at that time, especially because there's two enemies mid. You're not going to be farming. You're not going to get any farm here. So you should have gone back down and farmed there. This was a mistake to come mid. Should have stayed in your lane.
Having technical difficulties.
Especially when you saw two people. If it was an empty lane and there was creeps at your tower, that's fine. Go here, take this farm, and go to the creeps, go to the jungle camps, make your way down to the bottom tower. But going mid, especially when there's two enemy heroes, is not a free lane. This was a mistake. Then obviously short range. That doesn't actually get you killed. But you stay mid. Okay. And the next mistake you do is...
The Dire might want to mine their top tower.
Okay, one more thing. You come here at a good time, very good time, to this large camp. You have a huge nuke potential with your waveform, and you have a high amount of right-click damage. What you should have done is you should have stacked this camp. At 55, you should have stacked this camp and then cleared this camp. That's a huge amount of gold that you could have had, but you didn't. You're actually going for... Yeah, that's fine. And then you start taking Invoker's farm. Invoker is your second core, and so far, Invoker has been doing better than you. So instead of... Look at this guy. This guy was off lane. He's got 5,000 gold net worth. Like, this is just ridiculous. PA was their safe lane. She's got 4,000 gold net worth. Klinks, the offlane Klinks has 5,000 gold. This should not be happening. Obviously, this is not your fault. This is your team's fault for not helping you in the offlane. But right now, they've got 4 people in the lead because of this stupid drop. And I mean, the other thing that you can do is let them pick carry. Let the enemy team pick last if you want to. But people mark their heroes. If nobody wants to support, then you should support. Yeah, but you should not have been contesting Invoker's farm. You could have just gone to the jungle if lanes are too hard. But lanes are not at the moment very hard. Occasionally Pudge and Klinks come, and the times you've died because you haven't waveformed properly. You have never ever used Strength Morph. I've not seen you use Strength Morph a single time. So that's why you've been dying. You've been dying because of your own mistakes, not because of being outplayed or, well, yeah, outplayed because you made mistakes, but not because the enemy team is too good or something like that. Like, if you go back to your, like right here as well, you've got level 4 morph, that's 16, I think 16. Shift rate. I think 0.0625 is about 16 strength per second. 0.0625. Let's see. 0.0625. What is it? 0.0. Okay, so it's 1 divided by. So divided by 1. 1 divided by 0.0625. Come on, 1 divided by 0.0625. 16, yeah. So it's 16 strength gain per second. and that means 16 into, was it 20? So that's 320 HP per second that you gain by just clicking this one button. 320 HP per second. That's a shit ton. See, right now, you should click this button. You did not click this button. You would not have, you literally wouldn't have died right here if you just clicked this button. Because it's 320 HP per second, and this guy deals how much? This guy deals 160, so half that. Less than half that of after damage block. So you wouldn't have died there if you just clicked your strength morph. And if throughout these 4 times that you've died, if you'd been clicking this button, strength morph, you probably wouldn't have died a single time. Not to mention you did waveform improperly once or twice, but you definitely wouldn't have died if you'd been using strength morph. No, carry role is fine. It's not. You need to learn all roles. To be very honest with you, you need to learn all roles. Support as well. But right now we're focusing on morph, and this game would have been completely different if you hadn't made some basic. These are so. Last hitting is a very, very basic mistake, right? You should. If you've got 4,000 hours in Dota, if you've taken the time to actually contact somebody for coaching, then you should definitely have gone and practiced last hitting a lot more than what you do right now, right? Second thing is, if you're playing Morph, I don't know how much Morph you play, but if you're playing Morph, you should take the time to first read up on the abilities and research on the hero. Go to dota2wiki.com. Let me show you where it is. Dota2wiki is right here. Go to this web page. Click your hero that you want to learn, and from abilities onwards, these notes, they have so much. Okay, so travel up to 1,200 units. So his travel distance is not 700, it's 1,200. Sorry, not 1,000. And he can hit 200 extra. So it's 1,000 distance. Anyway, these notes on each hero, they are all the mechanics you will need to know for any hero. And you need to, if you cannot hope to get to 4K without memorizing and knowing fully well what these mechanics are for all the heroes that you play, if not all the heroes in the game. And of course, the next biggest thing that you've made a major mistake is not using your abilities. Now, strength morph, you actually would not have died a single time if you'd use strength morph. If you use your abilities properly. Now, no point clicking this guy. Hit the weak guy. Hit Lion, the support. Making this illusion, making the replica of PA was very good. You could have made it a lot sooner. Make the replica and put it on Lion. I think we actually don't need to continue onwards because we've identified some of the major mistakes that you've made in the game. And there's months and months of work for you cut out for you to practice and improve on. You missed that. You missed that waveform as well. Also, in a time like this, where you've got 5 men running on to 1 or 2 people, when you do make a replica, you should send this replica to somewhere safe, so that if suddenly the enemy team does TP or suddenly appears out of nowhere, you can easily replicate out to a safe distance.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
Yeah, for 20 minutes, you've still got only 56 CS. That's just horrible. you should definitely be focusing more on CS, and you don't have items to show for 20 minutes game as well because of your low CS. Okay. I think this Lynx is just gonna dominate the game. Obviously, it doesn't help when you don't have any wards. I'm not gonna comment on item build or anything like that because I think I've given you enough things to focus on as it is without putting more on your plate. So I'm just gonna rush forward a little bit. Yeah, now you're gonna keep dying because Klinks has Orchid. So even if you do, like, you can't even strength morph or waveform out. So if he finds you, you're just dead.
Radiant's
0-11 is it's rough.
Let's get fresh meat. Radiant's top tower is taking hits. One last top tower.
How are you guys surviving for this long?
That's 4 in a row.
Wow, that Klinks is making big mistakes right here. Right, they actually let you guys farm up your items. It's a big mistake on their part. Instead of pushing in, they actually saw that they were in such a good position that they just kept farming instead of pushing and just let you guys. They pretty much threw typical threw. So wow.
Fresh meat. 5 in a row.
You guys are actually gonna win this
Won't last much longer.
for real.
The Dire couldn't hang on to that mid tower. Dire's mid tower is nothing now. Might be over for the
That's just embarrassing.
fine work down Radiant.
Yeah, well, happens. Anyway, the biggest things for you to focus on: last inning, definitely. Get the read up on your hero. Get the mechanics right, and use your abilities. Yeah, that's 3 of the biggest things that you do need to focus on. And now, if you have any questions, let me know.